Togi.
Welcome to this Togi tutorial. In this video, we'll show you how to connect Togi with n8n using a practical example. We'll create a multiple choice quiz question with the OpenAI node, send it directly into Togi for a user to answer, and finally generate a report that tells us whether the answer was correct. By the end of this walkthrough, you'll see how easy it is to combine AI, automation, and human decision-making in one streamlined workflow. Let's start by creating a new project. Tap the plus button. Now we are in the new project screen. Let's fill in the details. We will call this project Quiz. Next, we enable end-to-end encryption. This ensures your payloads are secure from source to device. Then we choose an icon that fits. Let's go with this one. Once everything looks good, tap Create Project to finish the setup. Let's open our new project. Let's switch over to n8n and start building our workflow. First, we'll add a manual trigger node. This will allow us to start the workflow on demand while we test it. Next, we'll add an OpenAI node. Here we select our OpenAI account, leave the resource at text, and the operation at message a model. For the model, we'll use GPT-4.1. Next, we define the prompts. The goal here is for the model to generate a valid multiple-choice quiz question that we can send into Togi. To make sure the output is always structured correctly, we start with a system message. This prompt forces the model to return only valid JSON, matching a strict schema. It defines the fields we need: a question with a title, a description, exactly 4 distinct answer options, a priority value, and the correct answer. It also tells the model not to add explanations, markdown, or anything else, just the JSON object. Next, we add a user message. This one actually tells the model what to create: a single multiple-choice quiz question on a random diverse topic, with either simple or medium difficulty. The constraints make sure the question is unique, avoids common trivial examples, always has exactly 4 options, and that the correct answer appears in a random position. Finally, we enable the output content to be JSON. Let's test our node by pressing Execute Step. This is exactly what we wanted. Next, we introduce 2 set nodes. The first one extracts the question so it fits the format expected by Togi. The second extracts the correct answer, which will be compared with the answer the user will give inside the app. In the first set node, we use the JSON mode with an expression. For function, we use the question field. Let's test our node by clicking Execute Step. Now we create the second set node. This time we leave the mode at manual mapping and choose the correct answer field as our target. We only want this one field, so we have to change the path. Again, let's test our node. Next, we'll add a code node to send the decision into Togi. To get the example code, head over to www.togiapp.com. In the menu, click on Developers, and then in the Developer section, select n8n example. This will take you to the GitHub repository with ready-to-use code snippets. On the repository page, you'll see 2 files, decision.js and report.js. Each contains the JavaScript code needed for its respective step. For now, we'll open decision.js and copy the code into our code node. Next, we need to fill in our project details: the API key, the API password, and the secret. If your project doesn't use end-to-end encryption, you can leave the secret empty. Now we click Execute Step and get an error. Provided timestamp is in the future. This is a known issue on Windows, where the system clock can drift into the future and cause timestamp errors. As a quick fix, we can simply increase the time offset variable. This compensates for the clock drift and prevents the timestamp from being flagged as in the future. Let's try again. We'll send the decision once more and then answer it directly inside Togi. This time it worked. Next, we'll add a merge node. This allows us to combine two data streams into a single JSON object, the answer provided by the user and the correct answer from our quiz. With both values merged, we can now compare the user's answer to the correct one, and then generate a clear report using a short JavaScript snippet in another code node. Finally, we add another code node to send the report back into Togi. Just like before, we head to the GitHub repository, this time openreport.js, and copy the code into our node. We then fill in the project settings, and if necessary, adjust the time offset variable. Now everything is ready. Let's run the entire workflow by clicking Execute Workflow. And that's it. We've successfully built a complete workflow that generates quiz questions with OpenAI, sends them into Togi, collects user responses, and finally creates a report to check whether the answer was correct. Everything we built here is also available in the GitHub repository. You'll find the entire n8n workflow in a file called quiz.json, so you can import it directly and try it out yourself. Thanks for watching.